All right, good morning. I'm just going to wait here a couple of minutes, let everybody join. Morning, White Sand. Morning, Shadow Hunter. Yeah, I do have the risk disclosure up, so you can review that before we get started. Going to give folks here a couple of minutes to join. Start maybe 5 past the hour here. Actually, it is already 5 past the hour. Just give another minute here. Morning, Freezoo. Hopefully, you guys can hear me okay. Sound check. Morning, Sapadia. Good morning, Sunil. All right, perfect. All right, guys. So again, I do have the risk disclosure up again, basically to communicate that I'm not here in any sort of investment advisory capacity. What I'm here to do is provide you general information about the markets. The information by the company and myself is not intended as investment advice. It's not intended to offer or suggest to offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, future, company, or fund. Okay. We all understand that future trading does carry a fair amount of risk and that we should be only using risk capital when engaging with it, capital that we can otherwise afford to lose without compromising our lifestyle. Okay. Again, the information again is here purely for educational purposes and past performance. Excuse me. Past performance is not indicative of future results there. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. And now that we've gotten through the risk disclosure, we'll go ahead and go through what we normally start with, and that is the news. Okay. So, kind of news this week, and it is actually this week, maybe not today, but certainly this week. Something to keep in mind is, especially for the equities, this is rollover week, okay, in the equity market. So while I'll continue to sell to engage with the U contract, the Z contract, the December contract is coming. Most likely, we'll continue to trade the contract throughout the week and look to roll over to the new contract come next week. Okay. But I will be monitoring the volume. It's an interesting week because there's a lot of news in the horizon. All right, so which could even add to the unpredictability, add to the volatility in the market. All right, so something to keep in mind as we move along through the week. All right, especially in the equities. All right. So really, not all that much in the way of news this week or today, I should say. We have wholesale inventories coming out here at 10 a.m. And then we have a report coming out here at 3 o'clock Eastern time on U.S. consumer credit. So not much in the way of news today, but we have, if you look down through the remainder of the week, we have certainly a fair amount of news coming in. Okay. CPI, I guess, being the one that everybody's kind of looking at. All right. Let's go ahead and move into the charts now that we've gotten the news out of the way here. So going to go ahead and open up the charts, right? And we're just going to actually not look at ES here, but we're going to take a look at GC. Okay, I like using the continuous contract to start with, or actually continuous contract, because it allows me more historical information when I start looking at the chart, not at the daily or 30-minute level, but more from a monthly perspective. Okay. When I start the week, I always look at a much broader range and then basically just ask myself the question, what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, you can see here from if we look from left to right. Okay, if we look from left to right, that the market is indeed trying to head higher on the monthly chart. Okay, on a higher time frame. Looking at the weekly, the same is true on the weekly chart. I'm going to go ahead and turn off ADR here and some of the levels that we track here, so we don't get these warnings. Okay, initial balance should be is okay. So yeah, so on the weekly chart, we're up again. We're up on some weekly supply levels. Okay, but nonetheless, we continue to make higher highs and higher lows in this market. Okay, just trying to look for my arrow tool here. Yeah, there it is. So higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. So market is very much in a bullish trend. Okay, looking at the daily. All right. Now we've been a little bit, I would say, of late, a little bit of in kind of overlap, chop kind of environment. You can see here that we've had. Hey, good morning, Nuba. Thank you for letting everybody know in the room that I'm here. All right. So we've had a little bit of overlapping price here at this kind of supply area. I'm using kind of this supply demand visible range by Lux Algo to kind of help support me to some degree. Okay. So of late, we've been kind of in overlapping price action here, which I'm assuming it's made it a little bit more difficult to trade gold, although these ranges that have been established in gold are certainly very much trading tradable of late, I would say. But nonetheless, it appears that we are in a bit of a consolidation range in this market for now. Okay, so let's look at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. Here we are. I'm going to go ahead and turn off initial balance for now. Could turn off initial balance. We'll leave that little supply indicator here, visible range. Okay, so here we are. Have got received multiple tests of this. Was that 25? Let's just call it 2565 level. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 multiple tests of this area, and it's been rejected each time. So if that's not consolidation, I don't know what is. Okay, and the same is true on the bottom end. Okay, we have this level here at 20. I'm just going to call it 2500. 1, 2, 3, 3 times that we've tested this 2500 level. Now, what's interesting, this most recent is that it did not manage to get down to 2500. It only managed to get down to let's say 2515. So I don't know if that's some sort of indication here. If I kind of drill down into this area, right, this 2515 level, you see how this visible range now has adjusted the demand zone. Okay, so this area right here now could be an area of demand, and that could potentially lead us to higher prices in this market. Okay, on the 4-hour level. Okay, so so that's something to make note of, right? We have not made any sort of we did not manage to get back down to 2500. A price kind of stalled here around 25. I mean, yeah, 2500. It stalled here around 2515. Okay. Now the question is that going to be kind of the line in the sand to support, a continuation move to the upside in this market? All right. Looking at the 4-hour chart, could this be a leg higher in this market? Okay. So if you are a Fibonacci kind of person, you would most likely be inclined to draw some sort of extension here, okay, and that would give you some sort of indication of where this market can go. Well, certainly high of day or high of week or high of Friday is very much in the sights of gold at the moment. If you believe in Fibonacci's, then you would say that 2575 is very much in the cards in gold. All right. So again, we're developing a little bit of structure here. Again, another data point here. We're developing a little bit of structure. We got a close above this channel, indicating maybe this upside move that we've been seeing of late in this last maybe say last week. Maybe this is an indication of this resuming to the upside. Okay. All right. Let's move down to the 30-minute chart and begin to capture our levels that we're going to be taking a look at. I'm going to go ahead and remove some of these drawings here. Okay. I'm just kind of taking a peek to see where this market can go from a higher time frame. Okay. I'm going to keep this supply and demand visible range tool just to kind of keep us on. So we have a bit of a double bottom established here. You can see here one bottom, second bottom, right? And we've broken some structure to the upside. All indications for me seem to indicate that we are headed higher in this market. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and locate my anchored VWAP. I'm going to take this VWAP. This is basically the open of London. And so we'll take a look and see if, as long as price remains above this anchored VWAP, my view and a view that's aligned with a higher time frame is that we should see higher prices in this market. Okay, certainly back to maybe the back to high of day on Friday. Okay, something along those lines. Okay. All right. So next order of business for me is to draw in our fixed range volume profile. We're going to locate the A30 bar from Friday, drag that across to the 430 bar. Here we are. We are just getting inside value. We're going to go ahead and draw in our initial balance range, since we are already well into the market here. So this is our initial balance range, is relatively narrow. Okay. And as you guys hopefully know by now, is the more narrow the range, the greater the possibility that we will have we'll have an initiative move outside this range. Okay. Right now, this initial balance range, if you compare it to others, right, this is I'm just going to take a really unscientific kind of measure here. Okay. If I take this trend line and I draw from here to here. Okay. Well, so let's see if I can move this over. Come on now. Right. This is kind of the range that we've been getting, maybe slightly a little bit less, right, in this market. Right. So the fact that it is a third or even a quarter of that gives me confidence that whatever range it does break, it could be initiative. Okay. It could be initiative, right? Assuming that it stays in this range. All right. All right. So we are inside value. We are obviously still developing our initial balance range. So let's go ahead and add our levels that I've kind of captured here and add them here. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this candle here for now, if I can. All right, there we are. So these are the levels that we're tracking. Oops. This is not high. This is low. All right, I'm just kind of reorienting myself here a little bit. Going to go ahead and open up my ASR. We're going to adjust that to New York. Okay, here we are. So we have 2548.8 as our ASR high. 2548.8. .8 as our average session range high. Just kind of adjusting my spreadsheet before I adjust. That's our average session range high. Move that in bold here, and then average session range low is 2528. 2528.20. So let's see here. We'll get rid of this and we'll move this up. So 2528.20 is our average session range low. Bear with me, guys. I'll update the chart here in a minute. All right. Okay, so we have 25, 28, 28.20 as our average session range low. This is not high. Our high is 25.48. So I'm going to move this. This is 25.48. 2548.80. Okay. And this should obviously be moved up higher here if I can. I'm going to try here. I'm just going to see if I can open up a spot here. 2548 should be right under here. Okay. All right. Now it looks a little bit better. All right. Okay. All right. So now that we have our levels here, what to make of this market? Well, I think for now, I would say that if we do get a close inside value, which we already have, that there is a chance that we could see a full rotation, or at least a rotation through and to ASR high in the gold market. Okay, we do have volume increasing. All right, you can see that volume's increasing, which is supporting price. We're going to take a look at volume delta here now. Volume delta is also aligned with the price action, okay, that we're seeing. All right, so all indicators for me for now appear to be to the bullish side. Okay, now if price does not manage to close, or did manage to close, but if we do get price to close below value area low, and potentially below this anchored VWAP, then my view could change and we could see another leg lower. Okay, because if you can see this here, we did have a relatively strong leg to the downside. Okay, so the market is still technically under control of this swing. Okay, although we're starting to see some evidence that maybe market participants have the resources to take this market higher. Okay, we are developing a rather tight initial balance range. Okay, this is very narrow. All right, for gold. Okay, so again, I'm going to be waiting to see what direction the initial balance range is broken. Not just broken, but where it closes. Okay. Let me double confirm to make sure I'm getting the right initial balance. Sometimes I got 1 hour. This, yeah, okay. I'm not interested in these levels. All right, there I are. Okay, so again, we are in a rather tight range here. Okay, although we did close inside value, we're not, we're not technically making any sort of headway to the upside just yet. Okay, we are actually, looks like, almost looks like being met with some rejection. Okay, in price. All right. So we'll have to monitor this. Like I said, I'm not doing much of anything until the initial balance range is established. Okay. Let's see, share screen. It looks like I lost you guys. All right. Hopefully you guys can see hopefully the screen is back now. Okay. All right. So again, so I'm not doing much of anything until the initial balance range is established. Like I said, we did get a close back inside value, but it looks like this is being met with sellers at the moment. Okay. So I'm going to monitor this initial balance range quite closely. We are at this ASR low here. Okay. That could also serve as kind of a springboard, which is also around this value area low. So we have some confluence there. Okay. So if we remain above this ASR and we remain above value, then I would have to feel like we are going to head higher in this market. If we break below initial balance, we make initial balance low and manage to break below 80 ASR, then maybe we do have another leg that heads lower. Okay, so I'll be quite keen to watch what this initial balance, what range this initial balance establishes, and look to see what direction price is able to take with respect to initial balance. It does it take it to the upside, which seems the more natural path, given the fact that we've gotten a close back inside value. But I don't necessarily need to be married to that, because I do see that we've had a fair swing to the downside here. So sellers could easily step back into this market and maybe take one last swing lower before it heads higher. All right. Okay. Let's see if there's any questions. I'm not seeing them. So we'll go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead, and the easiest thing for me to do is just to modify this to CL. Okay. And remove a bunch of drawings. And start off with the, let's turn off some of these indications. We'll go ahead and turn this off. We'll go ahead and turn this off. We'll leave that on for now. All right. And we'll take a look at the weekly chart. All right. We'll start off with the weekly chart. Okay. So if you look at the weekly chart, okay, we can see that the market has what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, the market is trying to accomplish heading lower in this market. Okay, you can see that the volume in this candle that was closed on Friday was quite strong. Okay, it actually exceeded the volume of some of these prior candles, and price was aligned with that move. Okay, so the market is trying to head lower. Now it has reached the weekly demand level. Okay, so that could be supportive. Okay, that could be supportive, right? Because if you look to the left, we've gotten a reaction away from this area before, not once but twice, and maybe possibly a third time. Okay, maybe possibly a third time. So, but again, the more attempts that we make to break to and revisit this level, at some point there's a possibility that it will eventually break to the downside. Okay, you can even see here the reactions that we're getting from these levels are not as strong. First one was quite strong. Second one was not able to make was not able to get above this high. So again, this feels like it wants to head lower. All right. Daily chart. Okay, we have daily chart again. We have our supply and demand zones. Um, Trying to adjust this here. Again, we've reached the same kind of demand zone that we've been talking about on the weekly chart. Okay, although we have, I guess technically, from my eyes, have exceeded on the daily side. It appears that we've closed below it, right? So again, all indications appear to be that the market wants to head lower here. Okay, I'm just going to kind of zoom into this level here a little bit. So we have our supply zones up above and our demand zones below. As I mentioned before, it's at a level. Okay, it's at a level where we could expect a little bit of a potential reversal in price. We see that buyer volume is higher than seller volume at the moment. Okay, more buy orders than there are sell orders at these levels. Okay, 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. Okay, again, we remain in this kind of bearish channel. All right, in this market. Again, what channel am I talking about? Well, this channel right here. All right, this is kind of my guide here. As long as we remain in this channel on the bearish side, all I should be looking for is opportunities to the bearish side. Okay, if I'm going to entertain a long in this market, I need to get above 70. Okay, I'm not going to touch a long in this market unless it proves to me that it can break structure to the upside. If we cannot break any sort of price structure to the upside, then I have to continue to look for opportunities to the downside. Okay. All right. Looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, here we are. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this channel because I think we're already aware. So remove this drawing here for now. I'm going to go ahead and add my my levels here. So all right, so here are our levels, the 30-minute chart. Next thing I'm going to go ahead and draw is our fixed range volume profile. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and locate the 9 o'clock bar for Friday. Okay, drag that across to the 4:30 bar. Okay, you can see that price is inside value. Okay, when price is inside value, or looks like price is looking to open inside value, or has already opened inside value, I'm less inclined to really take a directional trade. Right? Okay, so we're inside the value range, right? Inside value range indicates that price is in sort of temporary agreement. Okay. So if I had to err in any direction right now, I would say that we want to look for opportunities to head lower. Okay. The fact that we took a peak above, created a little bit of I guess almost a triple top, and now we're inside the value range. Okay, similar to gold, we have a very relatively narrow initial balance range. I'm going to go ahead and lower these levels down below. Okay, I'm going to kind of maybe start to maybe double. I didn't do this for gold, but I'll do it for crude oil, and that is maybe just double confirm some of these levels here. So I'm going to take a look at my value area high. So my value area high comes in at 68.44. Okay, that seems to be in order. I got value area low at 67.24. That's also in order. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up my my value ranges. Make sure that they're set to New York. They are. Okay, so here we are. We have average session range. I'm going to change this to 68.58. Okay, 68.58. 68.58, okay, and then 67.25 as my average session range low. Okay, all right, those are my ranges. we're going to take a peek at ADR here. My ADR levels, and my ADR levels are, let's see, 69.41. Okay, that's in line. And then I have 66.87. Yeah, those are in line as well. Okay. So right now, I would say that if someone said that you needed to make a trade, well, I would say that my trade would be to the short side. Okay. I'm not inclined to participate in the initial balance range, but if I had to go in any direction, it would be to the short side. Okay. In this market, right? Um, let's see what else. Yeah, I would basically, if I'm looking long, I'm waiting for ASR or some sort of demand zone below to really participate in a long in this market. Okay, we've already shown that there's a fair amount of how we say on the higher time frame that the sentiment has been lower, right? So I'm not really inclined necessarily to go against that without picking a better level to go long. Okay. Now, it's certainly possible that we could get a little peak below here, maybe down to point of control and reverse off of point of control, or this demand zone also is an area of confluence that could also serve. Well, my stop loss would probably be the top of value, Alejandro. Top of value would be the area. Okay. If I'm thinking short, then that would be the area. Okay. That would be the reference level that I would use. I mean, you could also use the top of this initial balance range, but I think you open yourself up for your stop to get hit, and that's not really the point of the stop. The point of the stop is to stop when there's a point of invalidation. Well, for me, the point of invalidation, certainly a point of invalidation is a break and close above initial balance, but it's still developing. The reference level that has been established so far, or has been established, is value area high. Okay. All right. Let's see if there's anything else I should be sharing in this market. I think that's pretty much it. Okay. If there's any other questions, I'm not seeing them, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the equity market. I'm just going to just modify this chart to continuous contract on the equities. All right. I'm going to go ahead and remove some of these drawings and shut down some of these levels. Becomes very difficult to really make any sense of the markets when you have so many lines. Okay. We'll just try to keep this down to a minimum. Okay. So let's see. Move this down here a little bit like this. Okay. This looks better to me. All right. We'll start off with the weekly chart and ask ourselves the question, well, what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, the market has been trying to head lower in this market, but it's come into this area, right, where we could find some buyers. Okay. So this area right here, although it's not displaying it as an area of demand at the moment, if I do this, I'm assuming it will. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So you can see here that we have an area of demand because of the fact that one, we have a swing, two, we have a rejection of that same area. Okay. Now, in order for me to really embrace the long here, we would need to get above 19,000. Okay. As long as we stay below 19,000, I think we are exposed to the possibility of a continuation move to the downside. Okay. This feels like maybe, I don't know, potential leg three of of a five wave move to the downside. Okay, this is our wave one, this is our wave two, and maybe we're in the beginnings of a wave three to the downside, which is the strongest of the waves if you are an Elliott wave practitioner. Okay, all right, let's move on to the daily. Okay, daily chart. Again, we see that we've we have not made really any new highs. I guess technically we have here, but that was not received very well, and the market continued to kind of move lower. Okay. All right. So daily chart, I guess one could argue that maybe we're in a consolidation range. We haven't really made any sort of definitive move in either direction, but I think the lines in the sand have been drawn. 20,005 on the top side, 17,004 on the bottom side. Okay, that is the range. So the question is, who's going to blink first? Okay, are we going to break new lows, or are we going to break new highs? If I were to, if I would say on my vantage point, I would say that it looks like it wants to potentially break and make a new low. Okay, on the daily. All right, 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart. Okay, again, we look at this from a more recent perspective, and we are looking basically have established some structure to the downside. Okay, so we got this move down, we consolidated here for a range, and then another move down. We have 3 consecutive candles here, 12 hours worth of candles that are on the upside. Again, for me, I would say that this level right here, I'm going to go ahead and draw it in. This level right here, I don't know what the price is, but just based on structure, this 18,800 level could potentially be an area where we could find some bears. Okay, right? So we could rally to that level. That level was supportive in the past, has been broken to the downside. So what was supportive could be resistant. Okay, and this could offer us a location for price to head lower. Okay, looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. I'm going to kind of widen this up here a little bit. We are above VWAP. Okay, we are above VWAP. I'm kind of inclined here to draw this level here, but this is pretty much the close of Friday. All right, that's pretty much the same level as our daily VWAP. Okay, so as long as price stays above those two, then I have to say that we're looking to move higher in the market. Now I am cognizant of the fact that we've had this swing here, right? We had a swing, a break of structure, swing lower. All right. So on my expectation, and I think we've already kind of called this level out. There's another. This maybe draw this down here a little bit. This 18,000. I'm just going to say 18,700 level could offer us an opportunity for a bearish trade based on the 30-minute chart. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add my levels here. So let's move and add levels here. So I'm going to move those to the right here. Okay. Here are my levels for NASDAQ. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my fixed range volume profile here. I'm going to locate the 6:30 bar from Friday or 9:30 bar from Friday. Apologize, guys. I am in the West Coast, so it's difficult for me to make that translation always on the fly. Okay. So we double check some of these levels. We have value area high at 18,610. That's fine. Value area low 18,427. That is also okay. Value point of control coming in at 18,000 says 454. I have 458.50. I'm going to change that to 454. Okay, 454.50. Okay, as our point of control. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and open up settlement price. Okay, settlement price is coming in at 18,609. Is that right? No, that's wrong. Where is settlement? Interesting. Okay, let's add settlement here, guys. Okay, so we got settlement at 18,458, which I have that, which is correct. Okay, so move this up again. All right, so right now we have price right at the edge of value. Okay, so if price cannot get above value, then I would say that we have an area where a reference level that would allow us to, to take an execution to the downside. Okay. If we break value high and also break this high of day, I say high of day, is that correct? Yes, high of day, then I think we have enough, potentially enough momentum to get up to this 18,700 level, right? Before we start to potentially run into some more sellers. Okay. So we have a little window here. I'm not sure that that window is all too appetizing here for me, given this market. If anything, I would probably be more inclined to wait for 18,700 and see if I could participate in a downside move in this market. Okay. Not really super interested in the longs, just based on what I'm seeing on the higher time frame. Okay. All right. I think that's kind of what I want to say. Let me go ahead and open up ASR here and make sure that level is correct. Double confirm that. Make sure that says at least London. That's the one that at least we can hang our hats on a little bit. So we have 18,776 on the high side, 18,463 on the low side. We have let's see, ADR here. Also, we have 18,593 high, and then on the low side we have 18,210. Okay. So as I mentioned already, guys, so I'm going to be looking. I'm going to be patient. If I'm going to be participating in this market, I can't say that I'm overly excited in participating in a long in this market. Okay. Just by the very nature of what I'm seeing on the higher time frame, I'm probably going to be looking for opportunities where I could potentially take an execution to the downside. All right, I'm going to wait for the initial balance range to establish here in the next 13 minutes or so. Actually, not 13 minutes. In the next hour and 15 before I even entertain anything. What I can say right now is that we are above some of these indicators that would lead us to believe that the market is headed higher. What I guess is kind of affecting my view here a little bit is this strong sell-off that we got on Friday. Okay, strong sell-off on Friday, not really embracing much of the longs at this point. Okay, I feel like that these longs are very much still remain in control, the market is still very much in control by the bears. Okay, and the next logical place for the bears to maybe step in and control or to reestablish themselves would be this 18,700 level. Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah. So again, guys, before I kind of review the last couple of markets here, I do see that we have almost 30 participants, almost 29 participants in the room, and I've only got half of you liking what you're hearing. So I would encourage you, if what I'm sharing with you resonates, if it supported you, certainly for those who have been here before, don't be shy in hitting the like buttons. Don't be shy in commenting in the various social media outlets that are out there on these levels. These are all kind of the lifeblood for content providers such as myself. Okay. So I encourage you to, hit the like buttons and encourage me to continue to wake up at 5 in the morning every day to provide you these levels. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead now and move into the last couple of markets. You're welcome. You're welcome, Ricky. Let's move into the last couple of markets here. And okay, we'll look at the ES, and then we'll close off with the YM. All right. So again, I'm inclined to basically turn off all my levels here until I complete my little review. So I'll leave it at that. You're welcome, Nuba. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and open up the weekly chart. You're welcome, Frizu. We'll open up the weekly chart, and you can see that we've kind of appears to have established. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes. Thank you for acknowledging that, and thank you for your efforts in supporting that and making that happen. I appreciate that. So you can see here that we've made a double top in this market, right? We have a kind of supply zone that's been established here at 5,600. All right. We've reacted off of, let's say, so I would say that the range in this market is 5,600, 5,000. Okay. Is kind of what I'm looking at. So 5,300, 5,600, 5,000 is the range that we're in. Okay. Moving on to the daily. Looking at the daily chart, again, we have that 5,600 level that's kind of, or actually 5,700 on the daily. We have 5,100 on the as a demand zone on the actually it keeps adjusting on me, maybe because of this visible range aspect of this tool. All right. Okay, so daily also seems to be in range, 5,700 to 5,100. Moving on to the 4-hour chart, we have similar levels. Okay, we have this 5,700 to actually a little narrower range. Actually kind of adjusting here to 5,200. Okay, so 5,200 to 5,700, 500 points. Okay. So looking at the 30-minute, okay, this is where I'm going to go do a little bit of volume analysis here and get a feel for what the market is trying to accomplish. And the first thing that I'm going to be looking at is volume profile, and I'm going to locate the 930 bar, drag that to the 430 bar here. There I am. And you can see here, similar to what we were seeing in the NASDAQ, we are on the top end of the range, value range, okay, and technically have exceeded it, okay. Technically, we are above. I think we're above. Looks like we're above. Yeah, we're technically above it. Okay. Now, market's going to open up here in about 7 minutes. Now, one of two things could happen. We fall back in value and traverse through the entire range of value. We hold value and break this recent high and continue higher, right? I don't know which one of those is going to be, but the fact that we're right at the value area high is interesting, that the market makers or market participants are holding price at that level. Okay. They're trying to, I guess, push someone's hands into making a decision one way or the other. Okay. So interesting level, interesting price point that price is hovering over at the moment. Okay. Let's move in our levels here. Okay, so I'm going to add my levels. So here over to the right. Okay, so here are our levels. I'm just going to spot check some of these again, and then we have let's see, 50, 54, 53, 75 as our value area high. 53, 54, 53. I got 55. That's fine. 54.11 is our value area low. I have 54.14. That's close enough for me. 54.21 is our point of control. We're going to go ahead and open up settlement price. Well, settlement price is already established here. That's 54.57. 54. No, I'm looking at the wrong number. 54.19. 54.1950 is our settlement price. Okay, so next thing I'm going to take a look at is our ASR, because that often adjusts on me. So we have 54.25, 54.25 to the bottom side, and 54.82, 54.82 to the top side. Okay, so again, as long as assuming that price can stay above this value range, then I would say that we have a reasonable chance to get up to ASR high. Okay. First order of business is that, again, depending on how aggressive you want to be, right? More conservative person would wait for price to get above 54.63. But as long as price stays above value, then this is a fair level to manage our risk, right? Stop somewhere inside our value range with the hopes of price reaching this ASR high. It does not seem like an unreasonable play. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the ES market. Looks like there might be some opportunity to the upside in this market. And I would say that I would probably remain to the upside as long as price remains above value. All right. Okay. We have about 4 minutes remaining here. Don't see anything in the way of questions. So I'm going to go ahead and close off this session with a review of the Dow. Okay. We're going to do our same kind of analysis we did for the NASDAQ and for the ES markets. And we're going to go ahead and start off with our weekly chart, get a feel for what direction is the market trying to go. And, we had a very strong sell-off on Friday. Now we're up against this supply zone that's been established here. And so we have, I guess, right, we're up against supply. We've come into an area where it is supportive, say 40,134, maybe a little bit higher. 40,250 is supportive, because this was an area of yes, you too, Alejandro. This was an area of prior resistance, so this area could be supportive and could offer us another leg higher based on the weekly chart. Okay. Daily chart. Okay, daily chart. Here we are. We have, if I were to draw my channel, looks like we've broken some structure to the downside, but this market seems to be a bit in range. Okay, similar to what we were saying in the ES and the NASDAQ. We have 41,510 to the upside, and we have 37,891 to the bottom side. So it seems like the market is a little bit in range. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we have some candles, okay, of late. 4 hours, so we have 1, 2, 3, and we have a developing candle here that is bullish. Okay. Look at how strong the volume came in on the sell side. Okay. Again, until price is able or manages to get above 41,000, I'm not interested. Okay. To the long side, as cheap as it might be, I'm afraid that someone like this may step in again. Okay, so I'm not interested in that unless it needs to prove to me. It needs to prove that that the market is worth my capital here, right? If I'm going to invest my capital in these markets, until we see a similar kind of move, right? A similar kind of move to the upside, right? This kind of volume, then I'm not interested. All right. I just don't see I see that I'm afraid that maybe the market participants that took this down on Friday will step in again, and I don't want to be a part of it. Okay. All right. Looking at the 30-minute chart, and again, I don't have any levels established for YM. Okay, this is kind of like a little extra market for those who want to, I guess, get a exposure to equities, but not have to participate in sort of the Jekyll and Hyde behavior that you get sometimes in Nasdaq. Okay, and also offer us, sort of a way to participate without having to take all that much risk. Okay, in comparison, there's always risk in comparison to some of the other equity markets. All right, so let's see. We're going to go ahead and open up the fixed range volume profile. We're going to locate the close here for that market on Friday. Okay, and basically take a look at and see in comparison. Okay, unlike the ES. So, I don't know where the ES is at the moment, but we were talking about maybe the possibility of an extension off of value area high. Well, we have price again at a similar level, but technically at this moment in time, we are hovering inside value. Now, again, we're a few ticks away either way. All right. This could obviously change one way or the other. Now we just got the open of the market, so we'll see how well price continues to respect this value area high. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my initial balance range. Okay. So we'll see how well price respects this value area high, and see if price continues to maybe potentially move lower from these levels. Okay. I do need a bit of evidence of that, right? So in order for me to really embrace the shorts, I would need to see a break of this channel to the downside. Okay. A close, and ideally below this structure here to really embrace the shorts. Otherwise, if it does remain in this channel and I start to get some reference levels above me, like value area high break. Now, not only is it not only has it come into the top of value, it has also come into the low end of value from Friday. So interesting level that it's flirting with at the moment. Okay. So let's see. I'm gonna see if I can capture some of these levels. Okay, because I know that some of you do trade the opening range, and I don't want to necessarily affect that all that much. So we're gonna say ADR high. ADR high is coming in at let's see. You're welcome, Keith. We have ADR high coming in at 40,565. 565. We have ADR low coming in at 40,115. 40,115. We have let's say ASR here. Let's open up ASR. Where is ASR? There it is. ASR. We have 40,798. 40,798 is our ASR high, where ASR low is 40,431. Okay, our value area high is coming in at 40,697. So value area high at 40,697. 697. Okay, value area low coming in at 40,359. 40,359. Okay, we have settlement coming in at 40,000. What is it? 40,407. Settlement 40,407. Okay. All right. So again, as suspected, we're getting a little bit of a rotation here through value potentially. Okay, we're getting a reaction away from this value area high. Gonna see if I can move this to a 15-minute chart. I would be potentially inclined to look for a short on a 15-minute close below this. So I'm going to wait for a 15-minute close before I would potentially entertain something along those lines. My preference would be to wait and wait for the initial balance to establish. But if we get a definitive close here with some volume, which we have gotten some fair amount of volume here, this could be an opportunity for a short, okay, to the downside. Okay, it's not a recommendation; it's just an idea, a thought process. But something to consider. It is starting to meet some of the criteria that I would use from a price action perspective. So I'm going to be waiting here for maybe the next 9 minutes or so to see if indeed we do get a close below this channel, and then I will drop to a 2-minute chart for my final validation. Okay, where could this market go? Well, if it does indeed play out the way I'm describing it, ASR low is definitely in the cards, maybe value area low, and if all our cards are aligned, then it could reach average daily range low. Okay, but first things first, we don't want to count our chickens before they're hatched. We we need to get price to close, not just wick, close below this channel. Okay, all right. I think that's it for me, guys. I'm going to go ahead and close the session. Again, thank you again for your support. Thank you again to those who continue to support me and continue to hit the likes and subscribes and things of that nature. Okay. Again, content providers like myself depend on folks like yourselves to encourage them. All right, through the likes and subscribes. So definitely appreciative of that. Okay. All right, guys. So that's it for me. Looks like a little bit of a head fake here, guys. Kind of a peak below, and maybe looks like it wants to head lower. So we'll have to wait and see. I will see some of you in the coaches room and on the Top Step server. Others of you, hopefully later in the group coaching at 6 p.m. Central. Until then, thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Until then, guys, trade well, trade safe, and trade like a market pro. All right, guys. Thanks again, Lizzie. I don't know what the first part of that is, but hair by Lizzie. Well, I'm not a very good customer of yours. Hair by would not be a very good customer. All right. Okay, guys. Have an excellent day trading. I'll talk to some of you in our Top Step server. Others of you in group coaching later this afternoon. Otherwise, I'll catch you again in pre-market at the same time tomorrow from 8:30 to generally 8:30 to 9:30 Eastern time every morning. Okay, that's it for me. Trade well, trade safe, trade like a market pro.